Nancy Bliss here to welcome you to the 12th Inside Insights interview with our very own Laura Lee Mystica. For those of you who may not know, she is the author of 5 books. One is Living in an Indigo House, The Heartaches and Victories of First Wave Indigos, Got Ghosts, The Bizarre but True Tales of the Ghostbuster Gals, and along with House, she wrote the following 3, 2 of which are cryogenetics books, The Simple Secrets of Human Alchemy, and the sequel, Covert Secrets in Alchemy, which is a manual on how to covertly and overtly regain control. And last is The Anatomy of the Porn Vibration, What They Didn't Teach You in Sunday School. During the next half hour or so, Laura Lee will briefly discuss things that have happened recently. June was a jam-packed month, one of which had a level 9.999 evil threat, so stay tuned. We'll also talk about the liberation of our assets and some updates resulting from our stirring the pot on the Dark Lords. We hope you'll enjoy the show, and we'll continue to take a moment to hit the like button. So here she is, directly from her undisclosed chicken farm amidst an enchanted cedar forest, the multidimensional multitasker, Laura Lee Mystica.
Well, thank you for that delightful intro. It's good to be
welcome.
Back. It's been a while. One week goes to another, and it's been, a month since we've done one of these, so it's high time.
Yeah.
The first thing I think would be good to talk about is something we've been talking about with the HRT, and that's our Haliday coming up on July 14th. Now, the reason we chose that for a Haliday is because that's when the Knight's Code was written. And so what we're doing on this holiday is listing our accomplishments and celebrating what we've achieved. So start writing down things that you have done, and especially things that you thought you could never do, things that surprise even you. And you can celebrate on the July 14th with us. Have you got, I know you do. Nancy's got a list of accomplishments that we have done with our HRT group. And do you want to just say a few of those? Have you got a few of those that you can say?
Sure.
Some of them that we've done.
Last week I had a list of 25, nice and neat. 5 people can read 5 each, but oh no, Laura Lee has to do some other momentous.
I do more stuff and mess up your pages.
That's okay. Let's see. Oh, geez, there's so many to choose from.
We'll just grab one.
I'll just look for something with 5 exclamation points.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, here's one on the 12th of January. The deep state reign has ended. HRT, the R, which was final rescue mission, is complete, and now we are on a restoration mission. So the R changed from rescue to restoration. Another one, I think we already mentioned this one, but in March, all 52 jinn bit the dust, and let's see, I think 8 of them turned to genie. So we have wonderful genie allies. In fact, one of them, named Janio, helps with interference with our interviews, which you might recall.
So cool.
They were horrible.
Now, I want to tell people that there's still jinn out there. These were the old ones. These were the ancient ones that had been around for a long time and were a serious threat. There's always somebody conjuring up a jinn, so it's not like they're gone everywhere for forever. But these were the old, ancient, evil ones. So I just wanted to kind of add that there. Okay, go on.
Okay. Well, this one we're going to talk about our Project Stolen Assets retrieval, and then the one I already teased people about with the 9.999999. But let's see. Well, here's a happy one I'll end on.
Okay.
So there were about of 90 tethers or 70 tethers, I forget. About 27 of them were removed by Laura Lee, and then one day on the 13th of November, she was doing her grahapitudes, and she started to laugh to herself and thought, we can do our own tethers. We can tether our own energy into the Olmorosite rocks at the North and South Poles as points of origin, then spread good feelings to every being on the planet. And she said, what a hellish thing to do right now to mess with the Dark Lords. And so we're going to be doing that again on the Haliday. And so these are called, instead of tether removals, we're calling them tether approvals. So that's going to start a whole new
a whole new wave. Yes, I love that.
Right. Okay.
I'm so glad you keep these notes because, once something's done, I move on and like 10 more things are in front of me.
I know.
I just really appreciate you keeping track of these.
I got to tell you, it's hard to keep up on your tail.
I know.
It's like doing the work and writing it out. It's still.
It's like 5 full-time jobs.
I see a book in this. I just read off all your books. I see a 6th book in this.
Don't
biography.
Tell me that. Okay. That sounds like work. Okay, maybe there will be.
That's why I keep the notes, because then we have.
I know. I'm just being a little stink beetle. Okay.
I bet people out there want to know what you were like as a little kid. If you were one of those little kids that did magic and
how
all
funny.
kinds of things.
Oh, you are so funny.
Oh.
Okay, well, the next thing that is way cool, I got a note a couple of days ago from our web genius, or web genie, and she said that she surprised me and put something new on the shopping cart, and it is a badass egg notebook. So you can keep your notes in this badass egg notebook, and so it's on the website now. You can go find that and get you one, and always have a badass egg right there by your bedside. And now the next thing is, this is amazing. I love this. This will change your life and the lives around, the people around you. If you can remember how to do this, write it down. We've got a template for it, but it's a dream interpretation template. And you can take one of the scariest, nastiest dreams you've ever had and turn it into something useful. And I know it sounds crazy, I know, but it really works. And let me tell you how you do it. And then Nancy has got a really, really scary dream that she had that she turned around that she'll tell you about. Okay, first what you do is you briefly describe the dream, preferably upon waking up, and then you name the dream, like if it was a book or a movie, and then you make an ancient Chinese proverb out of the dream. For example, he or she who blank gets blank, or he or she who sees blank knows blank, or where there is blank, there is or isn't blank. So after you make a Chinese proverb, then you make an affirmation about the dream. I am, and then you make the affirmation. Well, then there's another aspect that and Nancy helped me do this, is the fix the dream step. And what you do is rewrite it and re-edit it to make it a dream come true instead of a scary, nasty dream. And that is so cool because you can literally put it on the editing table and you just take stuff out and you put stuff in that you want and make it your own. And then you rename the dream again as if it was a book or a movie sequel title. So you've got a whole bunch of stuff to work with here. And there goes my voice. because this is important. Nancy has a dream that she would like to tell you about now, and when you hear it, you're just going to go, holy crap, now I can take my scary dreams and make them happy. So take her away, Nancy.
Mm-hmm. It's like flipping the tables, or reversing dreams. And first I just wanted to have a note about if you have a dream and you wake up, to jot it down. If you can, have a little piece of paper and pen, because it's so easy to lose these dreams. But if you have a memory of it written down, you can go follow the thread and go back into it.
Exactly. So that's where your badass notebook will come in handy.
Right. And they're really extra good if they're in that badass notebook.
That's right.
That's on the cafe press. Okay.
So tell us about your dream.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to say, you don't have to do this whole thing. After you have a dream, to wake up and start typing away. Just make sure you can re-access the dream.
Right. Just notes to jog your memories, because you do forget.
Right.
I know that for sure.
Exactly. So you might remember Laura Lee read to briefly describe the dream, like upon waking. So what I wrote is, I am in a dimly lit 15-watt hallway of my child. 15-watt was a big thing. My father, saving energy.
Saving energy,
anyway. Right. It just makes it a little spookier, Okay, it's my childhood hellhole house, as I call it. When a fire erupts from the stove in the kitchen, I hear a continuous, seconds-long, gut-wrenching scream from my baby brother. I think it's Timmy. I had 5 brothers, so I think it was him, who is in a high chair next to the explosion. Even though I know in the dream it's too late to save the baby, I start to go into the kitchen, but I'm stopped by dark smoke. I turn to go out the front door, which I know is unlocked, and that's when I wake up. So the wake-up point you'll see later is important, because that's where you go to, that point, to change it, the wake-up point. So I woke up, I was in a near-paralyzed state, but I knew it was an inflicted psychic attack nightmare. Some people maybe wouldn't know that, and I told myself it wasn't real. I did the screw you loser, up yours loser protocol with conviction and deep breathing, things from the psychic attack list that we talked about on the very first Inside Insights. I did some of those and helped. Okay, so number 2, you might recall, is name the dream. I named mine the Scream Dream. And number 3, ancient proverb. I wrote, baby stuck in high chair near stove, not range free. So number 4, so that's me being a Jersey girl. You have to make fun. Also Irish. You have to make fun of horrible things. Baby, not range free. Okay, so the affirmation was, I am not afraid to risk my life for someone I love. I am not always able to save another's life. I am sometimes able to save my own. And then this is the part that we added. Laura Lee and I was having a session with her when this happened, and she said, you can fix this. And so that's where we got these 2 last, well, I'll just tell you about it. So fix it, redescribe, rewrite, from the wake-up point to make it a dream come true. So I wrote, I turn away from the door and run into the kitchen and see a giggling baby in a high chair within a bubble. And Laura Lee said that it was a HUPP egg, which stands for Healing Upgraded Perfect Protection Cryogenetics Egg. So I guess she was right there with me seeing this. What a surprise, right? Okay, so it was filled with cooling rainbow mist. I quickly pulled the chair with the baby in it down the hallway and out the door. We go across the street and sit in the grass watching the house burn up. The unhurt, untraumatized baby is amused by this etheric fire, which subsides to nothingness when the baby gets tired of the display. So then I renamed the dream Fiery Display Delights baby. But I have a little thing to interject there. Laura Lee said we're going to burn it with etheric fire. And I said, no. We have a male ghost in our house. He was a family ghost. He was there. Laura Lee, of course, went after him to see who he was and what. He haunted the house. He was killed in front of the street before we bought the house. And he was, like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, he was part of the
love
family,
of a guy.
Yeah.
Big family, 10 people, and I think he was highly entertained, I'll tell you that. So anyway, she removed him, and Amika came, and this guy was so fast to leave and jump in the egg with her, and I just felt so great that he wasn't still in that what I called the hellhole house, and I just love that.
So
anyway,
this is liberating on so many levels. This dream turned into something wonderful and something you would never have even thought of, like liberating the ghost that was in your house. And so,
right.
So this is typical of what these listeners can do to the scary, creepy, horrible stuff that happens to them in their dream state. So
yeah. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but I did have a cloud, this heavy feeling about this horrible dream. As I said, I woke up paralyzed, and it was heavy. But then after we did the steps 5 and 6, it was gone. I can tell you firsthand
that the cloud was
cleared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now it doesn't. When you go back and think about it, it does not haunt you in the least at all.
No,
it's a happy memory. Yeah.
Right.
And
if I didn't have
amazing.
My little notes here, I probably wouldn't even remember it this clearly.
Well, this is true alchemy. Everybody, this is magic. This is good magic. This is alchemical magic, and we all have access to it. And this is just one piece of it that could really help change people's lives. And so what we'll do is we'll put the link in the description to this template, this dream interpretation template for everybody. So we'll do that next. So
can I tell them the story of the chick, or do you think we not have enough time? I could try to do it quickly. The little chick in the little child's hand.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. One reason I had the session was that somebody posted pictures of their new chicks, and I had a memory come back of somebody I knew back in the 70s when I lived in Tucson, a musician, very gentle soul, and one night, I guess we were all smoking doobies, and he told we told a story about how when he was a very little, he must have been tiny because he was able to stick his little hand through chicken wire. And he saw a little chick on the other side, and he just loved it, and it was so cute. And he went and he held it, and he accidentally suffocated it. And this was traumatic for him. He was devastated. Here he was in his probably early 20s, crying, like a baby from this. And so I said, Laura Lee, I think you're going to like this one. If we can get some healing surrounding this. And she goes, wait a minute. And she was really gone. I couldn't even feel her. But I just want to say, it's what she does is so incredible. She actually followed through me to a person that I knew years ago. I couldn't even remember his name. And she followed the chick, and she came back with a whole story. Do you want to take it over from there? Or
I can't
even remember.
Story.
I can't remember.
I hope you do, because
that was so last week.
Yeah,
well,
it was.
She found that the chick was actually grateful and was with the person who had the trauma, trying to help him out with it, and was so grateful that this was a way that it left, because it was doomed for horrible things they do to chickens. And instead it was in the hands of a loving, innocent child, with giving it warmth and total love and attention. And so she said that the person, the man, I'll just call him Joe, is going to feel it pretty soon. that this chick is helping him, and the healing is in progress. So that's the whole story.
Now I remember.
But, I mean,
you told it really well. Thank you.
Oh. Sometimes I can be brief. I tend to be pretty wordy.
No, you did it really well. So next on the list, we are working on updating and improving the very powerful and very threatening to the Dark Lords document. It's called the Active Natural Order Template. Now, it's several pages, like 7, 8, 9 pages. It's a lot. And what we'll do is put it on a PDF and offer it on the website for a donation when it's done. Now, it's really long, like I said, but it's very thorough. And so we'll let you know more about that when we get it complete, and just let you know that we talked about it before, and we're still working on it. So just so you know. Okay, then I've got a few notes that these are what Nancy thought was important to talk about. So here we go. On June the 16th, these are my weird shit notes out of my notebook. I just got off the phone with an HRT member and found a spook or a spirit, I call it a spook spirit, that had made her have sewer taste in her mouth, and later found out that I had this spook spirit in me when I had furry tongue. Now, I don't know if you guys know what that is. I didn't know what it was. All of a sudden, I started kind of choking, and I thought, well, it's like there was something in the back of my throat. And after several days of this, of just something crappy in there, I stuck my tongue out, and I was horrified. I have never seen anything so gross in my entire life. And I showed my husband, and it scared him too. So he gets on the internet and looks it up and found out it's a thing called hairy tongue. Well, it's usually people that drink and smoke and, don't eat very well. And I don't drink or smoke, and I eat really well. So that wasn't me. And I just like, what the heck? So I'm like trying to scrape it off, and I got me a tongue scraper and finally was able to get it off. It was like this slime thing, and I thought, that is the weirdest thing. And I knew that there was some WS behind it, but I didn't know until at this time what it was. What we found, or what I found, was that there were 6 of these entities in existence, and they were very ancient beings, and they stay on a person for like 48 hours, and then move to another one and leave this residue behind that can make you sick. It makes your breath taste like sewer. It's just nasty, and it makes you feel crappy and frustrated. And so if any of you have had what sounds like it might have been this, just know it's been exterminated, okay? It be gone. It be toast. It be not there anymore. So you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff coming back. Okay, so then on June 21st, that was the solstice. Oh, this is an interesting one. Me and another HRT member that was here at my house conducted a solstice ceremony on my property, and it was to demand our stolen money and assets back. Demanded it be returned with interest. And so we did Screw You Losers, Up Yours Losers on the Dark Lords. Now, it was very interesting because normally there's a ton of mosquitoes out there. There weren't any. It was just very odd. In the place that we were at, it was a place that I don't go very often, and so it was kind of nice to see that area again. So we did that, and we thought, well, heck, that was easy. We'll okay, I guess it's time to go to bed. We did our thing. So then 2 days later, the shift hit the fan. I woke up with, and we had done the backlash, but I guess there was something that we we didn't quite do intend enough. We thought we did them, but doing backlashes are very important, because anytime you do something that's good, you know that there's going to be an asshole there that's going to try to smack you for it. It's like, remember the saying, no good turn goes, let's see, isn't it, no good deed goes unpunished. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
also, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Good intentions, right.
Right.
So 2 days later, major shit hits the fan. And I woke up with anxiety, fear, and dread, and my antennas were on wonky. And so I did the T strainer up one side, and then I did it from top to bottom, and there was still something there. And when I looked, there was like 41 implants in me, and I removed them with the implant removal protocol, did all the peripheral energies, and then completely took them to zero. And I felt much better. And then I found out that the implants were a 9.8 threat level. And I thought, what the quack? And I'm kind of glad I didn't see it before. I might have been really nervous. But these implants were used as a last resort. And they were amping up. It's like they were just kind of got started and they were amping up. They were endgame implants to be used as a last resort, and they had been there on me and other HRT members for 2 days since the ceremony. So it's like the ceremony started, and then, or the end of the ceremony, the implants were in, and then wham, they got you. So there was other people on the team that had them too, but the ones that I took out for everybody. So whoever got them also got them removed. So that was pretty hairy. So then here's some Smarty Foo disclosures. Now Smarty Foo is one of my chickens that was a rescue. I've had her for about, I think, 10 years, maybe 9 or 10 years. And when she came, the lady that had her went into her chicken coop, and one of them was all bloody and something on her face, and she didn't even know if she had an eye. And she asked me if I'd take her, and I said sure. So I went up there and got her, took her to the vet immediately, and the vet put stitches around her eye. Now she still can only hold her eye open like a little bit. It's like half closed because the stitches were right there by her eye. But she got better, and she's been a little cutie pie on our farm. And then about a year ago, she went through this weird thing, and I've got some videos of it because it is so bizarre, where she starts swinging her head back and forth like an elephant's trunk, and just like heavy swing, and you think that is so weird. And then she got under her belly like she was trying to get something off of her belly button, and she would back up and tumble. And then she'd like wake up and go, oh, what just happened, and start walking like normal, and then a minute later start swinging her neck again. It was so weird. I just can't even explain it. And it's like she would go into this altered state. Well, when about a year ago when she did this, I had some help from one of our HRT members and two other beings that we call Bab and Jane. And they helped me get her, it took several, they worked on her, I worked on her, we both worked on her, and finally, after, it took about a week, 5 days to a week, and she was better. Well, what happens this year? Same thing. So, worked on her, and finally, after 4 or 5 days, she was better. it was amazing, because what happens when I had to like hand feed her because she couldn't see to get to her food, and she kept swinging. She was losing weight, and then she got sauerkraut, and then she got hard crop, and just one thing after another. And I was out there like 8 times a day feeding her and taking care of her. I was just a basket case because she wasn't feeling well. I had another one that wasn't feeling well, and then I got a new baby chick that had broke its knee or dislocated its knee. So I'm like a basket case. Well, got her better, and then I'll read you what happened on June 27th. After taking care of the chickens, I decided to let the rest of the birds out, because usually I don't do it until after I get their treats made. And I gave them their vitamin treats, and then when I let Smarty Foo out, she started reaching for her belly button and tumbling again. She hasn't done that for over a week. I tea-strained her, and that helped for about a minute, and then she did it again. So I did the tea strainer up and down and front and back, and a minute later she was fine. And then a minute later she was reaching for her belly button again. So I stepped back to find the source, and I just really focused on that. And I know that home team was helping me, because this was intense. And I found the boss, and I stealth-egged it. And I felt like I needed to analyze it before I took it to 0. And I found out it was, get this, a 9.999 threat level. And home team stepped in with everything that they had to help me exterminate this. And we got all the residue off, and all the peripheral protocols went in place. And I find out that it had only been activated for like 7 or 8 hours about the time I went to sleep that night. But it had been available for activation for about 12 hours. And this was clearly a D-Monster endgame AI program that was set on auto-activate, that if we got this far in taking over the endgame scenario, this thing would go off. And it was AI. It wasn't sentient, but it had the D-Monster's fingerprints on it. And it was really, really evil. So if it hadn't have gotten on my chicken, I don't know how long it would have taken me to find this. And once it spread, it would have been harder to take care of. And so I was real happy that happened. But then, my little chicken, I'm just like, what the quack, And so I kept working with her. And then yesterday, she started getting a little better. And yesterday she was doing pretty good. She was eating. She was able to find her food. And today I went out there for about an hour. She did not tumble once. So I think we're in the clear. I just wanted to make a happy ending out of this story. But we dodged a major bullet there. That could have been really, really ugly. And I know we got some more stories that we can tell about these high threat levels, but this was the worst one I have seen since the D-Monster. I've never seen a 9.999 threat, but it was sure there and right in my backyard, and it's like I said, if you don't find out about this stuff, how are you going to handle it? So for all of you out there, when something crappy happens, go out and see if you can find out what's causing it, then eliminate the cause, and everything starts mellowing out after that. And so that's just kind of that happy story I want to leave everybody with. Nancy, do you have anything to add?
I guess I would insert the importance of doing the implant removal protocol and dealing with the backlash, which I was just looking, is Chapter 10, page 79 in Cryogenetics 2, because we've all been getting the smackdown for work we're doing with the spiral reverse ceremony on the stolen assets, and then we have one stirring the pot, and it's stirring things up, and it's important to, the calm will be better.
What we're doing isn't just make believe. We are making major dents in the Dark Lord's agendas, and they are going down. For them to pull out all the stops and go pull out this 9.999 threat level that they were saving for the end game in case things didn't work out the way they had planned, that they're scared. So we're doing our work, and we're doing a good job. And yes, by all means, make sure you take out all the latches and all the peripheral protocol. That is so important. And read through that, periodically, so you know what's in it, because it's very effective. And you need to make sure you dot all your I's. No, what did I say? You cross all your I's and you dot your T's. Something. You dot your T's and cross your I's. I don't know. It's some hellish thing. Anyway.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I think I'm done. So you can take her away.
Okay. So many thanks to you all for listening to our show. And if you liked what you heard, please hit the like button and share it with those who you think might benefit. It really makes a difference for us. Goodbye, and thanks again. And watch for some of the documents we talked about to be posted. Thank you very much.
That's right. Bye, everybody. Love ya. See ya.